everyone, thanks so much for joining me. In this video, we're going to cover handstand. It's a far more accessible pose than so many students realize. If you can do down dog, you can do some version of handstand. Okay, so we're going to get started. I would want to have a wall handy. Okay, but let's not start out practicing right in the middle of the room. Have a wall nearby, your yoga mat, and I think that's about it. So we're actually going to start, we'll head back to the mat here, but we're going to start in an upright position. Okay, so starting out in mountain pose, lining up the center lines of the feet, okay, so that they're parallel, center lines of the legs, lengthening the spine. I'm going to turn this way just so you can see. Okay, so bringing the arms out in front of you, okay, trying to keep that sense of keeping everything neutral. Okay, so stacking the ears over shoulders, hips, heels, and in an upright plank. So flexing the wrists, head of the arm bones back, thigh bones back, rooting across the feet and finding length. Take that sense of organization and reach the arms up. Okay, so I don't know if it's still in the camera view, but my wrists are still in that flexed position. Spread the fingers and just feel, just take your hands a little wider, a little closer toward each other, okay, and just feel, where do your shoulders feel the strongest, most stable? And notice, without even bearing any weight, that your wrists may already be starting to fatigue, okay, and then just release that. Check in with your wrists, make sure you're still breathing, all that anticipation. Okay, I'm going upside down, okay, but I promise, it's way more accessible than we would think, okay? So just checking in here, and let's do that again, and this time when we do it, I'm gonna lift the heels up, okay? So we're just gonna practice the sense of balance, the organization of it, upright. So I call this upright handstand, okay? So arms out in front, head of the arm bones back, base of the skull back. Really lengthen your entire back body. Spreading the fingers, okay? Getting a sense still of the center lines. We treat the arms, shoulder relationship just like the feet, leg, hip relationship, okay? So head of the arm bones, everything's organized, lengthen, reaching up, keeping that sense of strength, okay, in the triceps, all along the sides and the legs, finding your right distance that feels right for your arms, and then lifting the heels and just working with this. Notice how are you breathing? Okay, are your fingers like doing this thing? Okay, so try to keep your fingers reaching, spread, find the power. Okay, lengthen the spine, breathe, and then lower back down. Okay, so we're going to be on the palms here, fingers spread. Everything's going to be very intentional. We're going to work in down dog, walk the feet forward, okay, and then maybe practice kicking up. So that's one way. Another way to do it is to be in down dog. Well, you'd be closer, okay? Coming into down dog and then walking the feet up. I'm going to do this one first, okay, and then just show you and give you a couple of options. The first thing to do here is to practice just the feeling of kicking up and landing lightly. Okay, you do not want to jam your ankle by landing hard, okay, or some other joint, aggravating. So we're just going to head into downward facing dog. There's a whole video on that pose, okay, so I'm just going to assume you're familiar with that as we enter this. So heading into your down dog, finding length in the spine, feeling a sense of that the head and the arm bones are grounded in the shoulder joints, lengthening. Your knees can be bent or straight, but you're just going to walk the feet forward. I forgot to mention, I set myself up so I'm a little bit more than a handspan away from the wall. Okay, so I've got some space here. Okay, so as I walk my feet up, again, your knees could be bent, but you really want to focus on the thigh bones being up in the hip joints. And then just get a sense here. I'm rolling forward and back on the balls of the feet, feeling how are my wrists, elbows, shoulders, neck, breathing. Okay, so just smooth deep breaths. You still are trying to bring energy up the body, energy in toward the midline. Okay, and then I'm going to take one foot back and make one foot a little bit more forward, because I'm going to be lifting this one up and using my other foot as a pushing off point. So really feeling anchored. I've got my head so that I'm looking down and not looking toward my legs, okay? So you wanna make sure your neck feels good. All right, so I'm gonna lift one leg, lower, lift, land, lift, land, lift, land. So you just start to build courage, okay? All right, then you can always rest, okay? I'm gonna keep on going though here. And then I know the wall is there. It's not gonna move on me. I know I'm gonna hit it at some point, okay? You might warn the people in your household to not be scared if they hear some banging. You're okay. Okay, but anchoring, engaging, shifting your weight forward, okay? And kicking up. Again, you're drawing energy in toward the midline. I'm not sure that my feet are still in view of the camera, but it's like I'm on the balls of my feet. And I've still got one foot, see, at the wall, okay? And I'm just working to take, whoop, both feet away. And I didn't intend to land, but I did. I thought I would stay up a little longer. But anyway, so we worked on, landing lightly, kicking up, breathing, being in that position for however long. You don't want to come up quickly. Okay, so you want to take a moment, check in with your feeling of blood pressure, all right? And you also, part of the practice is to practice kicking up with each leg so that you don't have one that's always the dominant one. Okay, so we're always trying to work on balance, okay? So the other way is to have your back to a wall, it's behind us, and then coming into a down dog kind of. The way you place your hands, this might be a helpful measure, is to sit at the wall and notice where your heels hit. Okay, so that's basically where my hands are gonna go. So I'm gonna go here. Now this one I think is a little bit scarier for many people. Most people are gonna wanna start out with their hands too far apart. We really need to get into more of a 90-degree angle. So you still need to shift that weight because you're definitely, there's weight in the hands, there's weight in the wrists, and from there, just like with the feet in mountain pose, we're trying to bring the energy up, okay, with whatever is connected to the ground. All right, so I've got me really intentional here with my hands, distributing the weight evenly across them, okay? Bringing energy up, lengthening the spine. I don't have the limitation of tight hamstrings, okay? So that is absolutely in my favor here. Shifting my weight. I'm gonna take a foot to the wall. Coming here, I'm thinking I probably have my hands too far forward, okay? So I'm gonna walk down. I don't know, I'm trying to get a 90-degree angle and I definitely cannot look at the camera while I'm in this. So, there we go. All right. So this is building on the strength of it. And I love having a wall. Okay, so this is not the position that I really feel comfortable bringing both feet up. Even if I could, I feel like I go into that sway back. I just don't have that sense of comfort. Okay, I just feel way more comfortable. I can totally take my both feet away from the wall for some period of time when I have the wall here. Okay, but this way I just, not ready. And this is, for me, this is, I'm about 16 years into the practice. So, but it's not that significant to me. I don't feel like I have to come into a handstand in the middle of the room to call myself a yogi. Okay, so because this is all just a part of the practice. I love going upside down. All my students know this, that it is my #1 go-to for any kind of stress in my life. As long as I don't have a full belly, I'm going upside down. If I'm anxious about anything, fearful about anything, worried, concerned, it just assists in our life perspective. It decreases stress and tension. It's very empowering. So if you can do down dog, you can explore some degree of a handstand. First is, maybe it's just walking the feet forward, feeling more of the strength that it requires in your arms, shoulders, back. Feeling how can you get it out of the neck and more the power down the body. Practicing landing lightly, okay? But each part, there's a phase to it. It's a practice, It's so much fun, and it's like the fountain of youth, you know, because you just, when was the last time you went upside down? Since we were kids, okay? Now I can say on a daily basis, I go upside down in some way. Handstand, headstand, shoulder stand, I go upside down. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Send me photos, that'd be so much fun. Okay, if you're practicing handstand or anything going upside down. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.